This is Tibanaku from South Florida, from Miami, and we're going to be discussing The Fury by Alex Michaelides. Apology if I'm not pronouncing that last name correctly, but something like Michaelides. Okay, so yeah, I'm just out here chilling out on my balcony, facing the north. It's a nice sunny day here in Miami. We're all waiting for the solar eclipse. Everybody that's really into it that I know is in position. And I have one of my besties and her brother flying. They're already in Indiana, in Muncie, Indiana, and they're going to have lunch with my Uncle Edward and Aunt Carolyn in Indianapolis today. So I'm really excited to um, facilitate that and that introduction, of course. But yeah, back to the book review. It caught my attention definitely to pick this book up because it's the same author that wrote The Silent Patient. Whoop, that's my dog. And I don't remember that much about The Silent Patient, only because I was really young when I saw the movie. I remember that I enjoyed it. I think it had Ralph Fiennes and Rachel Weisz. But again, I haven't really looked it up for this review. But it was very, very good, very high quality. So in lieu of that, then I picked up his latest book, which is called The Fury. But let's do some research on the author. So Michaelides was born in Cyprus to a Greek father and English mother. And this is coming from Wikipedia. What caught my eye is that he studied English literature at Trinity College in Cambridge. And that means a lot to me. Education, somewhat knowing what you're talking about. Yeah, so and from my perspective, he would be a heavy hitter in producing something that's really good. So I'm actually not surprised that The Silent Patient had done so well. Yeah, I mean, The Silent Patient itself, it's a New York Times, Sunday Times bestseller, 6.5 million copies sold. Just shot up through the charts in the first week to number one. I mean, it was crazy, crazy the reception of that. So, uh, with that said, I mean, he has other accomplishments, but just focusing quickly on what we're talking about here. So I'm already expecting witty dialogue and I mean I just have the highest expectations for the Fury. The Fury itself, coming from the description in Amazon, is that uh, some movie star, Lana, really famous movie star, invites a group of friends, her husband over to the well-worn Greek Isle where they've vacationed before and have some kind of little compound there and access to that. There are visitors that have actually visited before, so it's a well-worn path there. And uh, again, from what we're seeing as a pattern with the other book reviews that I've published recently, uh, while I wouldn't say that it's slow paced in the beginning. Um, it's definitely not this mystery thriller that's action packed. Kind of the first half makes you feel like you're on a Greek Isle, which is kind of okay. It's time for lemonade as I look out in the ocean. And being from Miami, I really identify with that. So I'm sorry, somebody's moving in or moving out. Ugh, there's just like so many people moving to Miami. Who knows why? I mean, it's not like we're the only like, beach access in this country, but be quiet. Okay, they're backing out. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, no, my dogs are barking. Okay, so yeah, we're just and it's actually delicious that way. Most of I again I listened to it in audiobook, and most of it was narrated with a subtle British accent, except for Lana, the American actor, and it always intrigues me how someone who may naturally be British tries the American accent, and they try really hard, but being American, there's still something a little off. So it was fine. But yeah, they switch over to the American accent when they're uh, narrating for Lana. I also want to mention that uh, the narrator actually talks to the reader. Not all the time, just a couple of key moments where it's one of those things where the narrator is revealing how the reader is feeling and what they're thinking about at that particular moment of the story, which is very insightful, very on point because that's actually what was happening and kind of omniscient, in a way. So that was a delicious surprise. Very welcome to that. And it was compact enough, but then broad enough for a number of different themes. The first would be jealousy. Lana is married and seems to have it all. Who wouldn't want to just go off and vacation in you know Greek Isle as if with easy access. I mean, this isn't the first time that it's happened. They do that all the time. So it's a lifestyle, as much as I guess people in Miami go to Disney World, it's right there. So and I think on top of that, she actually was a pretty good actor. So there are a lot of reasons for certain people that cling and are drawn to the emotion of jealousy to be jealous. So at the same time, what's nice is that she's not going to stop who she is and acts accordingly, which is nice. Not to. Why would you belittle yourself just because some idiots are jealous of you? You know? Yeah, no, I don't think so. So um, then another main theme is what are the motivations of the various uh, you know people characters in the book, and sometimes the motivations are revealed quite quickly, and at other times, kind of with the main crust of the story, everything is revealed at the very end. I mean, actually, at the last couple of sentences in the book. So that stays with you. It's once you have that information at the very end of the book, then you reflect back on the events of the book itself to try to make sense of it all, to try to explain everything. I did not see that coming. I really didn't. And apparently neither did the person that was killed. So the main question is, what's revealed in the very beginning is there's going to be a murder. So the question is, who, why, who, what, when, where, why, and that all comes out. It's tragic. Um, something is planned, many things are planned, and then just something. Sometimes these little plans work, but at other times they don't. Something goes wrong. And it reminds me of uh, a discussion that I had with someone in the military, and what they said was, whatever can go wrong will go wrong. Some things that you just can't even imagine will actually happen. So, so that was kind of the sense that I had here. Um, and it's actually, it's, I think it's the category is a mystery thriller, and it's not short. I mean, you really have enough time to dive into it, and uh, I found myself yearning to go back to it. I wasn't really going off to other books. I mean, this was definitely enough to catch my attention. Um, at the same time, going back to the history of the author, to Mr. Michael, Michaelides. I'm sorry, Michael, Michaelides. Yeah, he actually has experience in psychology, and he even I think he worked as a therapist and even in a children's ward. So he has probably a lot of, I mean, I'm sure he has a lot of work and life experience to draw on. And uh, certain people, I think, I've never had that experience, but certain people that have a mental illness may portray themselves more kind of on the darker side of things, and that would be this book. There are times where certain scenarios are depicted, certain relationships, and then actions that happen because of certain things that happen in the story, that are pretty dark. Morality is just thrown out the window in a number of cases by a number of people. It isn't just one bad apple. There are, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, poor Lana is just she's trying to just have a relax uh, vacation, being gracious enough to host it, and is surrounded by all these snakes and sharks, and it's it makes you wonder what the sense of it all is, to go through all that trouble at the end of the day, because things actually did go horribly wrong. So um, he also employs nature. So, for example, there's it's an island, so there could be really strong winds, and the winds. I believe he was saying that is what is called the fury. It's just local knowledge that when the winds are that strong, it's the fury, and then that can be used for inciting violence by a certain person that is susceptible to leaning that way already, giving past violent acts and things like that. I mean, for me, there are hurricanes all the time here in Miami. We're supposed to have a really bad hurricane season this year, but it's not going to drive me to be violent or to murder someone. So, very. It was a complex book. It makes you think about like a chessboard, different dynamics of certain characters to each other and to others, and it's just absolutely fascinating. So I guess since the author has experience in therapy as a therapist, and delivering mental counseling, then it's very much like peeling the onion. So you have a patient coming in, and you have the dialogue, and it isn't until trust is established and time, and a lot of work that the onion is peeled to get to more of the truth. I would have to say, as far as lessons learned, um, and I've certainly fallen into this myself, not to assume that people have your best interest. I mean, ideally, don't trust anyone, you know. Even friends that have been with you for years and years and years can turn on a dime and actually be very dangerous to you. So um, always reevaluate. And even though, you know, you may want to go back to the comfort of the definition of that relationship beforehand, you really need to account for um, more current events and maybe stepping back and putting up some boundaries for your own protection. So that would be one lesson learned. But it's actually, feeding off of that, it's actually striking how different someone can appear than what they really are. It's striking, it's scary, because I think they were doing as much as they could to mask their true colors, their true essence, and it actually worked. Um, Another consideration is when someone doesn't get what they want, what's going to happen then, if anything? I mean, again, I'm not Saint Mother, Teresa, but at the same time, as far as expectations, I'm more of a live and let live kind of person. I don't chase after people like I see a lot of others do. And I'm more involved in developing myself and the things that make me happy. Excuse me. Oh, allergies. Excuse me. As opposed to um, wasting time, you know. Uh, and that can be wasting time in a number of ways that people waste time these days. So, um, and I try to have a fulfilling life, and I try to do that on a day-to-day basis. So, um, I really appreciate all of you listening to my podcast and lately my book reviews. I'm just happy as a clam, reading what I want, um, interacting with the community here, taking care of my three dogs, four cats, going out with my friends, arranging my friends to meet my family, like what's going to happen today, shortly, with the Eclipse party, the global party that we're doing. Um, and yeah, I mean, but that comes, I think, from not only appreciating and being grateful for what you have, but also living your life carefully and not looking for trouble. Uh, if you don't look for trouble, hopefully you won't find it. And if something goes sideways, consider just removing that something from your life before it takes your life. So, um, yeah, I wouldn't say that it's, extremely heavy. It's not like a Lolita book from Nabokov or anything like that. Nothing like that at all. It's not like, whoa, this is heavy, but it's like medium heavy. It's like ordering a steak. It's not well done. It's like medium well, as far as that goes. And that's why, you can probably guess with a book the title of the Fury, uh, that it is not going to be light. So that concludes my book review. Um, I recommend it definitely, especially because it's coming from someone that is so credible and so qualified to uh, carefully set out and explain this descent into madness in the Greek Isles. All right. Now a little bit of my continuing on with my life update here. I don't know if I said this last time, but I'm adopting Mirabelle. And I know it's another foster fail, and I don't even need another animal. But I'm sorry, if you have this foster who's come such, a long distance, she's a cruelty intake case. Uh, Dogo Argentino, American Staffordshire Terrier, mostly Dogo. So she's like a mini Dogo. Gorgeous, gorgeous dog. Probably used for breeding. Was ended up at the shelter actually a year ago, exactly, minus 2 days, on a wing and a prayer. I don't even know if she was able to see any sunlight. I was reading in her notes that they had to give her vitamins and gels with vitamins because her gums were just completely pale. Like, how does that happen? So, uh, when you have this beautiful creature, she just has the best personality, and she's sleeping on her bed right next to you on the side of the bed for 6 months, then it's all good. My other dogs and cats, some more than others, really enjoy her and get along with her. So I know she was working really hard as well to meet me halfway or more than halfway. So what I'm gonna do, it's April 6th, 2024. I told the shelter my intentions of adopting her because they really laid it on. Uh, and I'm guessing, unfortunately, even as a foster, there was like no interest in anyone to adopt her. She still has a few quirks. Um, and even if you don't have quirks, then it's a sorry state to be an animal in a shelter. Unfortunately, these days, I don't want to get into it again. It's just so depressing. But we don't have a lot of room here, but there's a little bit more room for this 53-pound girl. She's 4 years old. She has a long life to live, and she's made tremendous progress. And we love her. At the end of the day, we love her. Um, I think last time I was wishing everybody happy Easter, but yeah, my two baby doves that are in the balcony, one of them didn't survive. It never really hatched. So I just have this one baby dove that is not even ready to fly. So I know there's all this talk about the bird flu, and I'm hoping I just get a, you know, slightly less virulent 50% mortality version with all these animals and birds around me so I can become immune. I remember a long time ago, I think it was in 2014, I was trying to look up how long this vaccine lasts, but I clearly remember going to a government run facility. I was the only person in my office. Everybody was telling me not to do it because it was in a bad area. And of course, I'm like, miss vaccine. So of course I went. It was free, and I got it was this huge area, and I was the only person in there getting my H5N1, my bird flu vaccine. I hope that's going to help. With it sounds like there might be another pandemic. So, uh, so yeah, I will end it here, and let me know if you've read any of Michaelides or this book in the comments, and I will be talking to you guys soon. Thank you.